Hi everyone, and welcome to my picks for the top 10 best documentaries of 2014. I think I saw about 15 to 20 documentaries last year in the theater. These are all films I saw in the theater, and I did a review for each of those films on my channel. But here's a top 10. I love doing top 10s, and I love documentaries. Sometimes they're some of the best films I've seen all year. And here is 10 of them. And I also want to say, right before I name the best one of the best, I have a couple honorable mentions I just want to name really quick. But let's get on with this countdown. All right, number 10, Finding Vivian Meyer. Now this film was actually nominated for, I believe, an Academy Award for this documentary this year. And this is a very fascinating story about this guy who, at this auction, got all these boxes or crates and stuff like that, and he found that this woman who was kind of living alone and living her own life, she was a nanny, and she had all of these amazing pictures. She just loved to walk around her community. I believe she was from New York or somewhere, and she just walked around taking random pictures, and there's all these amazing pictures that are going on sale right now and traveling the world. She's no longer with us. I think she died years before all of this stuff was found, and I think it's a side of her that she probably never wanted to show the world, but it's such an amazing, incredible side that now the art world is just eating it up. And I thought this was a really great documentary that examined that, her story, and the people that knew her but didn't know her, and then at the same time this filmmaker's journey, or the guy who found all this stuff, his journey, and what he's going to actually do with all this stuff. Really great documentary that I highly recommend. I don't know if it's on Netflix right now, but if it is, check it out. It's definitely worth seeing. I don't think it's very long either. It's a pretty short documentary, and I wish it was longer, but check it out, Finding Vivian Meyer. Next one is number 9, Glen Campbell, I'll Be Me. Now, I'm not a big country fan, though I do love the country music of Glen Campbell and a lot of the other people that came around during that time, I think in the 60s and the 70s. A lot of great stuff, you know, Johnny Cash, Coal Miner's Daughter, can't remember what her name was, but some great music. The country music of today is just trash. Sorry if you like it, that's fine, you can enjoy it. I'm not going to. I don't have a problem with anybody enjoying it. I'm just not personally into that kind of twangy crap. But Glen Campbell is a great artist, and what this film actually examined, I didn't know what I was going to get into. I knew Glen Campbell because he was in a movie called True Grit, the original True Grit with John Wayne, who won. But with Glen Campbell, I'll Be Me, this is a concert film. At the same time is this guy's journey with his family as he is suffering from Alzheimer's disease. And you can see how it affects him, but it doesn't let him stop him. He goes on tour, his final tour, and it's just a great thing that he can experience with his entire family. And as fans and people that maybe not know him that well can enjoy all the great music and the great performances and see, like, oh my gosh, how is he going to do? Is he going to survive? Because he's trying to be himself. He's losing his mind, but his music is loved by so many. And this film actually got nominated for Best Song. So that is awesome. Congratulations to Glen Campbell and his entire family on this nomination. A great film. I hope it gets released on some sort of format other than Blu-ray, so people can chance to go see it, because it is a really great concert film / documentary about a talented musician and human being. Next one is number 8, Touch the Wall. Now, I didn't know much about this story before watching. I saw the trailer. I don't follow sports, but this film examines the lives of two amazing women, Missy Franklin and Carolyn Joyce. And I saw the documentary before watching this, like I do for most films that I don't know much about. And when I saw it, I really loved it. I enjoyed it. I actually met the filmmakers at the screening. I got to interview them, and then they told me about Tug.com, where you can actually host a screening in your area. And just last month, I did that, where both filmmakers showed up. And I had a sold-out show that included friends, family that were there, and a lot of people that I've never met, a lot of kids that just love swimmers and stuff like that. But I would say what really got me into this movie more than the subject matter, it was just the themes and ideas that you can look at the lives of Missy and Carolyn, and you may not be into swimming, and that's okay. I'm not too much into swimming. I do like to go swimming, but I'm not that passionate about it. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm passionate about other things. So I was thinking, as I was watching this film, how can this relate to my own life? And that's what I think you should do when you watch that movie, because great examples of Carolyn and Missy. She's a firecracker. She is so interesting, and I would love to meet her one day, get a chance to interview, but she's so busy. Let her win some more gold medals and bronze and stuff like that. She's going to be incredible probably at I think next year's Summer Olympics. I hope she takes home a lot of medals, and at the same time doesn't forget to be herself, because that's what's so great about the film, is that she's truly herself and inspiring to everybody, whether you swim or not. And I want to thank the filmmakers and everybody who came to my screening, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had that amazing experience. And a great film, a wonderful film, and one of the best documentaries I saw in 2014. Hopefully it'll be released very soon, I think in April, on Blu-ray and hopefully digital format as well. Next one is number 7, Citizen4, which is also nominated for this year's Academy Awards. And I didn't know much about this film or about Edward Snowden before watching it, and what he's actually done and how brave he's actually been. And some people might not like what he did, and other people will enjoy and appreciate what he's uncovered. This is a really great documentary. I mean, if you're someone who loves documentaries, and actually for the filmmakers, because they're all a part of the story kind of around the beginning. They don't really know where it's going to go, and where this story actually goes, and I'm not going to get in detail or explain too much, is I can imagine the filmmakers being in this room when this guy's just uncovering all these things, and they're just videotaping like, oh my gosh, we have gold. This is amazing. This is what documentary filmmakers live for. So check out Citizen4. It is nominated again for Best Documentary, and it may win. Who knows? It's got some really great subject matter, a great story, and I think there's going to be a movie in the works. I don't know who's making it, but I think it'll be an incredible film if it's done right as well. Number 6, Tim's Vermeer. This is a film actually made by Penn and Teller, the great funny comedian magicians who perform almost every day in Las Vegas. Well, they have a friend named Tim who is a filmmaker as well, and he has a huge passion for Vermeer, the great artist. And what he tries to do and attempts to do in this documentary is pretty shocking. This is one of the first documentaries I saw last year, and one of the best. It's just incredible filmmaking, and just what he does with art, and trying to not just make a copy, but make his own version of Vermeer. And I highly recommend it. And of course, Penn and Teller are part of it, but they don't really get in the way. They let the subject shine. They don't try and use their notoriety to get in the way of the subject during the film, but they probably knew to use their notoriety when they were making it. Other than that, great film. Check it out. Hopefully it's available somewhere in some sort of format. Great film. Number 5, when I went to the LA Film Festival, I think I don't know if I just saw this documentary or any more, but this is the one that stayed with me the most. It is Giuseppe Makes a Movie. Now, Giuseppe is an actor, and someone who's been working in the business as a young actor in films like Detroit Rock City and Independence Day. But he formed a friendship with Adam Rifkin, who was the director of this movie. And so Adam started filming his life as he was making these kind of off-the-wall, crazy, somewhat terrible movies. But he was having so much love, so much passion for it. He was using his friends, his people he met in bars, homeless people off the street being a part of these things. And so he just make these movies. And one thing I loved about what he said in this film is like, forget continuity. Who cares? I don't deal with it. You shouldn't deal with it either. And that's one thing I appreciated. I mean, I love continuity in big budget films, but when it comes to these small independent films, if you don't get it right, who cares? Just have fun. Enjoy your passion. And I don't know what he's doing today, but I think he's still making movies wherever he's at. And this is just a really awesome documentary that examines filmmaking when someone may not have a lot of money, but have a lot of passion, a lot of ideas, and just willing to just put himself out there. Adam Rifkin did a great job in directing this and putting this all together. I would love to see an extended cut, because I bet he has hours and hours and hours of footage, but you should check out this film as well. Number 4, The Gallipolis Affair, Satan Came to Eden. Now, this is a documentary that has a lot of footage from this situation that was shot there back in, I think, the 1920s or 1930s off the coast of somewhere South America, or maybe other part, I can't remember where this actually happened. But this is a strange, weird film that I didn't know what I was going to get into. There are interviews with the people that are still living there. At the same time, there are recreations with the letters that the people that were there lived there, and all the crazy crap that actually went on with these people that were looking to get away from the world. And at the same time, when they got together, they were pretty much still a part of the world, even though they were on this island far, far away. A lot of evil things happen when they least expected it, and I didn't expect what I was going to get when I saw this film. And I think this film might be on Netflix right now, so please check it out. It's definitely worth seeing, and a great film about the history of that island, the crazy history of that island. Number 3, Last Days in Vietnam, which I think is nominated for an Academy Award. Now, this film examines the last few days when America was in Vietnam this is after the Vietnam War was over, and they were slowly just backing up and getting the hell out of there and letting Vietnam deal with Vietnam now, after the catastrophe that happened during the Vietnam War. This examines with interviews of the people that were really there, as they were trying to get as many people out of the country as possible during that time. At the same time, there was so much crazy and amazing, insane footage of everything that went down. And if I was going to pick a film out of the 5 films that were nominated for an Academy Award, and I've seen 4, no, actually I've seen 3 right now. I'm trying to see a 4th one before the weekend happens. But out of the three films out of the 5 that I've seen, I would probably pick Last Days in Vietnam. It's a great documentary, and it does a great job of incorporating the footage with interviews and all that stuff, and where Vietnam is today. Number 2, Life Itself. Now, one of the film critics that really inspired me is Roger Ebert. I think most people that are doing YouTube and sharing their feelings about film were inspired by Roger Ebert. To me, he was the best film critic ever, and ever and ever and ever. No one will ever beat him when it comes to film criticism. I think he's the best. He's the greatest. And even if I agreed or disagreed with him, I always had much respect. Even if I really, really, really disagreed with him, I still had a lot of respect for his opinion. I knew what he knew. I knew that he knew that I knew that he knew what he was talking about. He was just so interesting to watch, and the show what he did with just Siskel and Ebert, and then Ebert and Roper, and that he worked and he did all this stuff to the day that he died, and the love life he had with Chaz Ebert, and even some of the stupid stuff he did on Twitter. It's there, but you know, when you vocalize your opinion, you might say a few things every once in a while that people are not going to agree with. But anyways, great film. Why is this film not nominated? That's the shame of Life Itself. This film should be nominated for an Academy Award, and if it was, it would have won. I love this film. It is really close. It was definitely going back and forth between number 1 and number 2 on my list. So please check out Life Itself, especially if you love film, if you love film criticism. If you love to go to the movies, you're going to love this film, because Roger Ebert, as I said, reviewed a lot of masterpieces, and now he's in one. Congratulations to everybody who worked on this film. I love this film, and I highly recommend it. Whether you like movies or not, it doesn't matter. This is a movie about someone's life. All right, two honorable mentions before I get into the final film. Really quick, I'm just going to name them off. Really great films that you should check out. Supermensch, The Legend of Chef Gordon. Great film. Funny film, directed by Mike Myers. Yes, Mike Myers, Wayne's World Mike Myers. And also, For No Good Reason. Now, if you've seen anything from the great writer, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Hunter S. Thompson, then you've seen this artist and his work. So check out For No Good Reason, which I believe is also produced and starring Johnny Depp. Great film. Check it out about the artist behind the artist behind the art of all that great stuff that Hunter S. Thompson worked with as well for his books and his design and stuff like that. Just really crazy. All right, everyone. Finally, number 1, and then we can move on with our lives. Number 1. Oh, I just love this film so much. And this film opened me up to a whole new world of this insane filmmaker. The film is Jodorowsky's Dune. I love Alejandro Jodorowsky, and now I've seen 3 of his films now, and it's a shame that this Dune does not exist, because it would have changed the world. It would have came out before Star Wars. But see this movie. If you love film, if you appreciate film, if you just love great stories about stuff that just never happened that could have changed the world, it's a great story in itself. Jodorowsky's completely insane, and that's what's so great. It makes it so interesting. I can't wait. I hope he continues making movies. I think he's in his 70s or 80s now, and he just made a movie last year called The Dance of Reality, which I really loved and I put in my honorable mentions. But this film shows you how this movie kind of came together and then fell apart. At the same time as all the influences, the major influences this movie actually made on science fiction and movie history from then on. Because it was supposed to, I think, come out in the 1970s before Star Wars. And then, I like, at the end, I'm not going to say what it's compared to, but it shows you all these movies that were inspired, maybe, hopefully, probably, by Jodorowsky's Dune. Great film, the best documentary I saw in 2014. Love this film. I'm a huge fan of Jodorowsky right now, and I can't wait to see more of his movies that I have not seen yet. I've seen The Holy Mountain, I've seen El Topo, and I've seen The Dance of Reality, and I know there's a list of other films that he's made in the past that I have not seen yet, and some I think he's working on right now, so that's awesome. I love crazy, insane movies that sometimes don't make any sense, but they're visually stunning and emotionally engaging. And that's how I felt about Jodorowsky's Dune. All right, everyone, that is my list. In the comment box below, what were your favorite documentaries of 2014? I'd really like to know. In the meantime, please check out WeLiveFilm.com and subscribe to subscribe to We Live Film on YouTube. Also go to Long Beach Acting and Film Association right here on Facebook and Twitter. Please also go to MoviePilot.com, and if you enjoyed this video, please click right here, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you again so much for watching. I got one more video to do about 2014, the worst of the worst, and I hope to get that done soon. In the meantime, have a great day, a wonderful night, and a wonderful life, and I'll talk to you in my next video on YouTube. Oh my gosh, I can't talk anymore. Bye. Peace be with you.